Good evening and welcome to my study. My name is Ron, I'm your host, and it's my pleasure to share a daily devotional with you because I believe it's important to stay in the Word, keeping the full armor of God on. Amen? Amen. Tonight, we are moving into the book of Habakkuk. And a little bit about this. This is coming from our Foundations Guide. Habakkuk did something different with his prophetic words. Instead of preaching to the people of Judah, he had a chat with God. Thus, we get a glimpse into the prayer life of this prophet, and he doesn't hold back, sounding a bit like David's complaints in the book of Psalms. He begins right off with complaint. He is writing after the reforms of Josiah had been after this. Let me try that again. He is writing after the reforms of Josiah had been instituted, but they were beginning to die out, and the people had reverted to their sinful ways. How often do we hear that in the Bible? People have a come to Jesus moment, and then they go back to what they love to do. Amazing. Let's read from chapter 1 of Habakkuk. How long, O Lord, must I call for help? But you do not listen. Violence is everywhere. I cry, but you do not come to save. Must I forever see these evil deeds? Why must I watch all this misery? Wherever I look, I see destruction and violence. I am surrounded by people who love to argue and fight. The law has become paralyzed, and there is no justice in the courts. The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted. Same old, things just don't change. God's reply: look around at the nations, look and be amazed, for I am doing something in your own day, something you wouldn't believe even if someone told you about it. Okay, he's coming to rescue them now. I am raising up the Babylonians, a cruel and violent people. They will march across the world and conquer other lands. They are notorious for their cruelty and do whatever they like. Their horses are swifter than cheetahs and fiercer than the wolves at dusk. Their charioteers charge from far away. Like eagles, they swoop down to devour their prey. Oh, on they come, all bent on violence. Their hordes advance like a desert wind, sweeping captives ahead of them like sand. They scoff at kings and princes and scorn all their fortresses. They simply pile ramps of earth against their walls and capture them. They sweep past like the wind and are gone. But they are deeply guilty. Here's the kicker: for their own strength is their God. Habakkuk is concerned about how bad the world is getting. And God comes along and just tells him that it's going to get worse. And the worse is the hordes of the Babylonians. And their God is their own strength. We'll see how that goes. But there is something to meditate on. Where does your strength come from? You all have a good night, God willing. We'll see you tomorrow. And we are on for memorization. We're on Ephesians 6, verse 16. We'll start again with 14. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth, the breastplate of God's righteousness, and for shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news, so that you will be fully prepared. And then verse 16, and in addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. 3 verses so far, fairly simple. Y'all have a good night. God bless.